Gail King from Looking to Make a Difference. I'm here at beautiful Crest Hollow Country Club for the 4th annual Beauty Ball given by Racine's. Racine's, Mondays at Racine's, celebrates all of the survivors. They are patients, men and women, who are undergoing treatment for cancer. And one Monday a month, they go into the salon and get free services. But more about that later. So tonight with the ball, we have entertainment, dancing, food, raffles, all kinds of goodies, including interactive booths. So stay tuned as I introduce you to some of the people behind the scenes, some of the survivors, and of course the 3 sisters who are in charge of it all. Beautiful lady next to me is Cynthia Sandstone, who is the president, the founder, one of the co-founders of Mondays at Racine. I want to go over a little bit about your inspiration for this, because it's just so important that people hear that and understand why you got involved and how it could affect them.
Absolutely. You know, I was sitting on the beach in 2002, and my mother came into my head while I was laying there in the sun, and she said to me, "You and your sister have a salon. Why aren't you doing something for the women in your community?" She had suffered greatly in the 80s when she was going through her own cancer treatment. It was a decade of AIDS. It was a decade of disease. People did not know why you were losing your hair or why you were losing weight. And it was at that point that we really, really needed the awareness, Gail. It just was, it was something, my mother could not even say the word breast. It was as if she was saying a curse word.
It was a secret. It was hidden from...
It was a secret. And
nobody talk about it.
She thought she did something wrong.
Cynthia, I think one of the things that you're doing that's just so wonderful and that is paramount to us ever getting to a cure is education. You know, so many women, men are afraid to go to doctors because of what they'll find out. But like it's been explained to me, let's go find out what it is, and then it's up to you what you want to do about it.
Absolutely. And we also tell people to be the CEOs of their own body. You know, get second opinions, get third opinions, explore other options, explore how you might be able to calm your anxiety, perhaps with yoga or meditation. So maybe you don't have to take that sleeping pill to go to sleep, lessening the chemical load on your body, lessening the effects of medicine. So, you know, in collaboration, I think that we could get through this disease a lot better.
I love the reassurance that one gets when one speaks with you. And you use 6 words that can make anyone feel very much at home.
I did rob this from somebody. I'm not going to take credit in case he does hear me. But it's something that we say to anybody who walks through our doors, and that is, we can help you with that. And I don't care what it is. You need a doctor, you need somebody to clean your house, you need somebody to pick up your kids, you need nutritional advice. We are there for you. So we are really expansive in what we do. It is not just a beauty parlor. It is much, much more than that. And if I may say, we are the only cancer charity on Long Island that does what we do every single week.
Because the word salon means?
Salon means a meeting place, a living room, a place where people gather.
And that's where one feels comfortable enough to talk about, to share. And there's so much to be said for that. Let's talk a little bit about Life on Mars, because you and your daughter have worked on this makeup line.
Yes.
So let's share a little bit about what it is, why it's important for people to use it.
You know, I sit on a board with many doctors, and they all agree that the cancer pie is split into 5 pieces, and that is genetics. It's environmental assault. It's what you're putting in your body, what you're putting on your body, and a slice of stress in there. So I thought, after doing transformations on women for almost 20 years, I said to myself, Cynthia, what are you doing putting these dyes and parabens on these women? And it was from that I first started, Rosie and I created the nail polish line, which is void of 11 chemicals, and then we went on to do treatment for the skin, makeup for the face, 0 chemical, because we are offering something that is beautiful and edgy, and it gives people a choice.
It's beauty and wellness for sure. But in addition to that, when you feel like you look okay, you suddenly start to act a little better. And it's like fake it till you make it.
Exactly. And I always say that, the mirror is a powerful tool. It could be like a dozen roses being given to you or a knife cutting you. So when you do look in that mirror and you feel good, you can go out into the world and feel better.
I have to say one final word from you is that you are giving back to so many. And tonight's theme is about beauty, and that's beauty.
I'm sorry?
That's beauty. Tonight's theme is about the many different faces of beauty.
Absolutely.
And what you're doing, that is beauty.
That is beauty, yes. Because even in the film, I talk about if we could get rid of the beauty myth when we're in treatment. Most women, when they're diagnosed, will say, am I going to lose my hair? Not even am I going to die, am I going to lose my hair, because we are so attached to the beauty ideal. So if we can help that, you can sail through it a lot easier.
But your kindness is what's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Gail. I do
Here's
love you.
another beautiful sister, Gayle Waldron, who's the executive director of Mondays at Racine. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me here. This is absolutely wonderful. This is the 4th annual Beauty Ball. And I want to ask you, because I know as executive director, you're in charge also of the educational symposiums. However, this is your baby.
This is my baby. This is our biggest event of the year. And this event, we're able to really open up to all of our sponsors and all of our salons, our beauty sponsors, all of the hospitals are here tonight in support of this.
And patients.
And patients, of course, which are the most important.
I want to ask you, when we go upstairs, because we're going to take a peek later on, of course, what can we expect to find at the Beauty Ball?
Oh my goodness, there's so many amazing things. Well, we have an award ceremony for the first time this year where we're really honoring some great people, great supporters, but we also have psychic readings, we have beauty services, the lash garden, we have casino night, dancing, cocktails,
and food. I saw food being set up.
Yes, and delicious food. Crest Hollow is very, very wonderful place for us to be.
Let's go behind the scenes. What does it take to put this together?
We start planning in April. We have a team of 90 volunteers who work on this event, countless volunteer hours.
How can somebody volunteer? Because it's so important to help out.
Well, it's quite easy. If you go to our website, there is a place on the website that will ask you if you are interested in volunteering, and they can just put their information in and we'll contact them.
Mondays at Racine.org. What haven't I asked you that you would like to share with our viewers?
I would just like to say that Mondays at Racine is on the precipice of major growth. We feel like there is a big change in cancer care on Long Island, and a lot more people are recognizing the services that we do and how important it is for those services for people who are going through. It really does help. So if anyone's interested in becoming a program or a charter, they should get in touch with us, and we would be happy to sit down and start to develop.
Yeah, that's the charter salon. I think I said to your sister charter school, because education, which is what I did for 36 years.
Well, we do. We train, we educate, we certify. There's a lot of hours that go into that. There's medical protocols. Everything is designed by a medical executive board who has put together all of our services, because we have to be very safe. People are compromised, their immune systems.
And one final thought about that, too, is that, and they don't do it for this reason, but I understand that the charter salons, they end up making even more money when they donate one day a month. How does that happen? What is
Gail, that you're very intuitive, because I think that generally people want to support companies that are doing something good in the world. So it really does come back to them. So that's why.
Thank you, Carla. You're an angel, and I'll see you upstairs. I can't wait to eat.
Thank you so much.
I'm here with Rachel de Malfete, and I never pronounce her name right, but believe me, you can never forget this woman. One of 3 beautiful sisters who are here tonight for Racine's 501, right?
Mondays at Racine.
Well, let's go on and tell a little bit about...
It's actually 5 sisters. who are Millie's daughters, and this foundation is named after her.
And one son?
And one son.
Thank you.
Let's not forget him. But this is a cancer care foundation that helps people in their struggles while they're in treatment by giving them free salon and spa services during their treatment period.
I mentioned before about the 88 cents out of every single dollar going toward helping all of these people. So, and the 4 cents where that went, and the 8 cents. But what I want to talk about with you, because I'm going to talk about something different with each person to get across all the information, are the charter schools. I understand that in the charter school, they pay $500.
Okay, so they're not charter schools, they're charter salon
salons.
and spas, and now even yoga studios.
Yoga studios
And what
have
we do, we have a comprehensive way of teaching people how to do this out of their own facility, and so they become then the charter members of the entire program. Thereby, on any given Monday, a patient can go to any Monday that's available to get a spa or salon service or a yoga session.
Let's talk about some of the services that are available.
So it ranges from massages, facials, nail services, hair services, Reiki, meditation, and we also have an in-house dietitian who's got oncology certification so they can guide the patients on what to eat and what not to eat, which is an essential part of recovery.
Rachel, I want to talk about your inspiration, which is your mother.
Yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss, 1989, that she passed away.
correct.
Very strong woman, very beautiful. And when she was treated, times were just so different.
Well, it was at that time when cancer was not really a household name. Everybody whispered it. They didn't really quite understand the ramification of treatment. Treatment was quite new, whereby a lot of people were spending more time in the hospitals getting their treatments. And my mother just felt very erased by her treatment. She didn't feel alive. She went into her bedroom, locked her doors, and as young women, we watched her crumble. She was a realtor. She was an interior designer. She did many things, but she did crumble, and that stayed with us for a long time. And many years later, that's our inspiration, and that's why we do this for Mildred Di Malfete.
Beautiful. With us tonight.
With us every night.
Let's talk about Life on Mars, the makeup.
Life on Mars was born out of the idea that cosmetics generally have a lot of toxins in them. And my sister Cynthia, and this is her company, did an amazing job in designing and developing a line that has zero chemical load. Thereby, it's not just for cancer patients, but anybody could use this if they're conscious of what they're putting on their bodies and on their skin.
Now, Carla was very insistent that I mention that it's for men and for women. So we're going to
Racine is for all cancers and for men and for women while they're receiving treatment for cancer.
And we have a gentleman waiting who's going to be interviewed right now who had lymphoma, and it's 1 year, so we're going to talk with him. I want to thank you so much.
Thank you, Gail. Thank you so much for always being so
I'm
kind.
here with the guest of honor, our honoree, Susan M Byrd. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Susan, you have quite a story to share with everybody. I know that you had skin cancer, including one bout with a melanoma, and then the following year, diagnosed with stage 4 ovarian cancer. Let's take me back to that.
Oh my. Well, I was fortunate in a way because one morning I woke up and I just, was stretching and my hand felt a lump here in my groin area. And so after seeing a few doctors and getting kind of a inconclusive CAT scan, I went to the cancer center, the M Byrd Cancer Center, and
By your husband and you, that's your husband, Rick.
which we had actually had the ribbon cutting for just a year before. And we have no cancer other than me in the family that we know of. And so it was unbelievable to find out, to have a diagnosis then of stage 4 ovarian cancer in me. So Dr. Ben Schwartz saw us that day, my husband and I, and that was on a Friday at 5 o'clock. And on Monday at 10 o'clock in the morning, I was at the hospital for a total hysterectomy to remove the cancer and also to to take that. There was a lymph node. That was the bump. That was the lump. And fortunately, then I went through the chemo treatments at the cancer center, at our cancer center, and everything went very well. I was really blessed, and fortunately, I'm here, and I'm a survivor, cancer-free.
Oh, that is
miraculously.
amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned joy. I'm sorry, I read that you mentioned that you believe in joy. You know, it's so important. I'm also a cancer survivor, 43 years, breast cancer. And I have to say that I learned so much from my experience. I was very young when I had cancer. I learned so much, but I also learned that it helped me to grow and to become the person and to have more empathy. You mentioned joy. Would you explain that?
Joy, oh. Well, it's more than just like being happy. Joy is an inner feeling that you just know that it gives you so much hope, and by being involved and putting, our resources into the cancer center, we felt very inspired by others who had been contributing to Northwell, and we had been spending quite a few years of creating an awareness in our community about what Northwell had in mind for the South Shore. And so it gave us, a wonderful feeling of having a legacy then of having helped our community, but we had no idea, either one of us, that I would then a year later become a patient in the same cancer center.
Now, you offer so many services in the Northwell M Byrd Cancer Care Center. So do you want to mention a few of them?
Well, they're the first-class doctors, oncologists, nurses, and technicians there. There's also an imaging center that is in a attached part of the cancer center. And if anyone, would have to undergo cancer treatments, the atmosphere is so calming and so lovely. So, and it's very specific to being near the shoreline, because all of the artwork is geared towards reminding us of the therapy of the water and the seashore.
That's so important to surround oneself with beauty, whether it be a negligee that I wore when I was in Bayshore Hospital, South Side, when I was operated on, or if something to look forward to. I want to thank you so much, and I can see why you were selected tonight's honoree, and continued good health and beauty too.
Thank you, and the Mondays at Racine's program is just so phenomenal, really. And I've known them for 20 years, so we're thrilled to be supporting them as well.
Thank you, Susan M Byrd.
Thank you.
Handsome man next to me, Matthew Ambrosio. I say the Ambro way because you do everything creative. Just want to mention a couple of things. I know you're very involved, flowers, plants, all of that.
Oh, I like to garden, yes.
Yeah, shoes, blogs. I just want to throw a few things out there that you do.
Yeah.
If you want a wine selection, this is the guy to ask. Fashion. Look at these shoes. I mean, Matt, they're better than my shoes.
I've been hearing that all night long. I need to find out where to buy these so I can sell them.
They are, well, you do very well with your shoe collection. I bought a pair of shoes from you, matches a certain dress, and I have to say they're super comfortable. All right, tonight we're at the beauty ball. Beautiful with makeup, and that's the themes about beauty. Tell us a little bit, before we get into what you're doing tonight, about beauty. Has beauty changed in the last year?
It certainly has, from trends on runway to retail beauty. I think now we're seeing a less is more type of trend where women just want to look naturally flawless, but that's what every woman really wants, But for tonight's event, it's really about beauty and what beauty is on the inside. It's really, everybody has their own idea of it.
I'm getting nervous because I put my own makeup on tonight and I'm watching him look at me. Matthew, what about women who are undergoing cancer treatment? Help us with that.
Well, beauty is a very powerful thing. Beauty heals. And that's what Mondays at Racine is all about. It's healing beauty. I can't tell you how many times I have worked with a woman who was not happy with the way she looked or was unhappy with the way she felt on the inside. And after sitting with her in a chair and doing her makeup, it was an amazing thing to see. She was hiding behind her hair, but that went back. When she was, walking around the store after she had worked with me, she was looking in the mirror and putting on lipstick, or retouching whatever she was doing. She was happy with the way she felt great. And then I realized the real power of makeup. And that's what was so fulfilling for me as a makeup artist, was to be able to heal people.
One of the lines in the HBO film from Mondays at Racine was where a woman was losing her hair, her eyebrows, her eyelashes, and she said, "I feel like I'm disappearing."
Right. And it's amazing how powerful the power of beauty is. I mean, just a little bit of foundation or some lipstick or some blush can change a woman's persona, the way she feels about herself. It's this little powder in a compact has more power than all the money in the world, all the weapons in the world. It really is a powerful thing.
What are you doing tonight?
Tonight, my job is to show off the many talents of the Mondays Charter Salons. They participate in a competition of hair, makeup, and fashion. And we have a little procession in the beginning, and then they're judged by a professional panel later on.
Well, I want to thank you so much. You've been doing this for a number of years, and you've been involved in so many charities, and that is beauty.
Yes, I truly believe you get what you give.
Beauty. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. I am definitely surrounded by beauty tonight. The theme of tonight is beauty. And what more can I say except for Donna and Linda are here, Birth Company Pink, and they're amazing. But let's talk a little bit about some of the things you've been doing. Donna, you started this.
I did. I started the First Company Pink about 9 years ago. I'm actually going to be a 10-year survivor in April. So I'm very excited about that.
And then you had a fortuitous meeting with Linda. I think if you could very quickly share that.
Oh, it's a beautiful story.
I know, I'm excited.
But Linda and I are at this point attached at the hip. We have the same belief. We have the same intention. We're very specific to what we want to do. Early prevention is the key. Got Checked is now is going to be a national campaign, and we are now newly partnered with Zwanger-Pesiri, so we have our answer to our question. Got Checked, where is Zwanger-Pesiri? It's a brilliant idea.
Yes.
And the book is amazing.
I know you're a fan of Listen to Liddy.
I am. I have marked up the book. Decode Your Future. You have 100 different codes in order to make a better life. But what's really key here, too, is that you're reaching our Y generation. And they're often really overlooked because mostly older women have had breast cancer.
Yes.
So the younger ones are left by the side.
Yes.
And even though it's 30% have had breast cancer in the family, you did. Is there breast cancer in your family?
Yes, I lost my mother to this.
I'm sorry. So
it's
sorry
something
about
that is very
that.
important, that matters, and this is why the very first tip that I give to young people is discuss family history. It's a
Absolutely.
life-saving tip.
You go into schools.
Yes,
You
I
have
did a lot of workshops.
Yeah, I'm going to brag about you, but you have not only the books, but you have tapes, you have music. You know how to reach the younger generation. I taught for 37 years in a high school. So when I researched you and saw the language and the hip hop and all that you're using, I was in love.
It's really, it's really reaching everyone on their own terms. It's making a connection, We're not there to instruct or to preach.
Or to lecture.
Absolutely not. We're there to make a connection on their own terms. Listen, today, if it's not on Instagram, didn't happen. So that's why it's important to really use social media.
How many do you reach in the schools?
Last year, over 35,000 youth, because 17 school district plus some colleges and college radio. A lot of minds, a lot of young minds.
And very quickly, the pink pumpkin patch. I met your beautiful relatives who made me enchiladas or made me.
Oh, that was Angie.
I love Angie.
Cousin Angie's amazing.
But I also want to mention that somebody by the name of, I believe, Bree, raised $10,000.
That's Bria. That's how it all started. Back in the day when I was first diagnosed, Bria was only 5 years old at the time. She heard her mom on the phone with me when I told her I was first diagnosed. and she came out of her room with a yellow shoebox with her tooth fairy money. It's a true story.
That's Bria?
Bria. And she says, Mommy, I don't want Aunt Donna to die. I'd like her to live. Could you please give her my tooth fairy money? And I said, oh my goodness. I said, you know what? I have one better for you. We're going to start something together. You're going to be our mascot. We started doing pink lemonade stands, and we developed this the Pink Pumpkin Patch, and she's 13.
In the Code Your Future. There's a pictures, she's part of that too. Yes.
We have a story to tell on a lot of fronts.
We're going to continue this very soon, but I'm so happy that you came tonight.
We love
This is
you.
wonderful support, and you guys are terrific, and you are true angels.
Thank you.
And I thank you
You're
for
not leaving
that.
without taking a picture with us.
No, I'm here with the beautiful Dana Persico, and she's she's the founder and CEO of the Long Island Nail, Skin, and Hair Institute located in Levittown.
Yes, thank you. It's great to see you, Gail.
I'm delighted because it's amazing how much you are able to accomplish. You've been doing this some 20 years.
Yes, it has been an incredible journey for all of us, as well as the patients and the families that we work with.
Now, I understand that you are training different people on hands or on-site training.
Yes.
You have a beauty lounge.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So what we do is our students who complete the skincare program, after they are finished with their coursework, they go on to a postgraduate class where they learn how to work specifically with an oncology patient that would be having aesthetic services, nail services, massage, and hair services.
And I have to give a little bit about your background, too, because I understand that you have worked Fashion Week.
Yes.
Oh, you got to share a little bit. Come on.
Many, many years. Oh my gosh. So Fashion Week started for me back in 2000, and I worked for every designer that you can name, from Naeem Khan to Tracy Reese to, oh my gosh, there were so many. It's hard to, Allison Olivia, Rag & Bone, you just name the designer.
I wore this in Fashion Week this year.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Vanny Tusignan. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I also want to mention that you're involved in so many magazines and TV, from CNN, now as far as magazines. Really, you went from Redbook, Cosmo, Glamour, 17, and then I saw Home, House, Beautiful. Tell me about that.
So the editorial work is great. One of the most impressive and fun ones for me was when I got one of the first stories in Russian Vogue when I was traveling abroad, and I got to meet the editors of Russian Vogue. It was really incredible.
Oh, it's exciting. Now let's talk about tonight, your involvement with Racine.
So part of what I do, besides being the director of the Institute and creating these new programs, is to be able to work with Mondays at Racine, not only to help them have more students /volunteers, but also working on a government relations aspect. My goal, because I do a lot of government relations and education across the United States, but specifically for Mondays at Racine, my goal is to help them to find grants that will help the patients that we care for through healthcare initiatives. So
That's amazing. I had no idea that took place.
Yes.
Bless you for that. That's phenomenal.
Thank you.
All right, what haven't I asked you that you'd like to get out there?
I would just like to be able to say that something really important to know is that Rachel, Cynthia, Carla, and Rosie are as beautiful as you see when you interview them on the inside. They're an incredible family, and their family bond, I really believe, is what has accelerated this foundation. And it's the drive and their connection. They connect to the clients, to the charters, to the Institute with our students, and they bring something magical to the table.
Do you know, when I first started 8 years ago, they were the first people I interviewed.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's
Isn't that
wonderful.
terrific?
Yeah.
I want to thank you so much.
Welcome.
I'm
It's
excited.
always so nice to see you.
Oh, thank you. I'm with Kate Fox, one of the most special people that you'll ever meet. Kate is a survivor thriver and responsible for 2 amazing books. Hi there.
Hi there, Gail. And actually, I have to tell you, I'm going to plug myself now. I have 3 books out. My last and third cancer book is going to be coming out the end of this year at the latest, and a portion of every sale is going to go to Mondays at Racine.
You're amazing. I have to tell you, today on Facebook you put up my pink ribbons. That was my favorite. And I was going to ask you, if you don't want to recite it, just give the gist of it because it's so beautiful and such a help to those who are facing cancer diagnosis, having gone through treatment.
Well, my books all reflect my journey, of course, and the one that I put up today, I think, was basically, I didn't have to go through such aggressive treatment, so it sort of reflected how I reacted to a woman who dealt with things the same that I did. And we're all alike, though. We're all in the same club, no matter what we've gone through, whether it's bad, good, I'll say good, but you know what I mean. Whether it's easy or harder, we're all in this together, and we all have that common bond.
I'm glad that you said that because I want to mention something here. The question is, what has this disease allowed you to do? So in that sense, we're growing from it.
Yes, we both are, and I see you grow more and more all the time, and oh my God, you've had so many accomplishments, and I too, I was given the chance to live my dream. So I have my 4th book coming out. I have my own show that I've been working on, which I have to have you on sometime soon.
Absolutely.
I'm actually co-hosting a Friends radio show on Thursday, which is a fundraiser for a woman with stage 3 ovarian cancer. So we don't get out of this, no matter what we do, and we live our dreams, but we constantly go back to what brought us all these blessings.
Now, what brought you to Racine's?
It's funny. Racine, I was a customer at Racine for, oh my gosh, almost 18 years, and I didn't know about their cancer program until, I want to say 2013, after I was done with my stuff, and I just came across it. I saw the documentary and I said, oh my God, I had no idea they were doing it. So I never got to take part of any of their services. I didn't qualify. My partner did actually attend Racine, Mondays at Racine, because people don't realize that it's for men too. It's for anyone who is going through cancer treatment. And he actually went there and fell in love with the ladies, and he got to have treatment.
And what you're referring to is the HBO 2013 documentary, Mondays at Racine, which was actually nominated for a short documentary. And after that, the publicity abounded. And you're absolutely right. One more thing I want to mention before we move on is that out of each dollar, 88 cents goes to all of the patients who are coming to Racine's. And 4 cents goes to fundraising, and 8 cents goes to directors and the financial fiscal that has to be done with people working here. But that's an amazing amount. So as soon as you donate to Racine's, you have to know that that money is going to help immediately. Kate, love seeing you here. I know you're going to be interviewing upstairs, and I'm coming up to visit you later.
Yay! I'm so happy to see you, Gail. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Kate Fox. Gorgeous lady next to me is Judy San Roman. First of all, I have to tell you, she's a great friend, and that's important. We're talking about cancer. Judy is also a survivor, thriver, who has written an incredible book.
Thank you.
I love the title.
They're fake and they're spectacular.
Okay.
Yes, they are.
But you know what? The book was so helpful to all who read it because you take them through your journey and you go through all of it. You shared everything from relationships. What a powerful book. You could still get that at Amazon, $15. Go and get that book.
Barnes & Noble.
Barnes & Noble as well. And I've heard you speak about it, which is beautiful. And we're here tonight to celebrate survivors and to meet other people who are involved with this as well. You're also, first of all, you were from the pharmaceutical company, and filmmaker, actress, own show. But let's talk about some of your films. I had a ball interviewing.
Well, first I have to say your dress is spectacular. It's all about, this is Mondays at Racine's, the beauty ball, and you emulate what the ball stands for. So beyond beautiful. Every time I think she can't outdo herself, she really does. So gorgeous like always. I love my friend Gail.
movies. Okay, so
Your favorite that you have
well,
done.
right now I'm very excited about Rich Boy, Rich Girl. That was the last one
Loved
we
it.
did. We see Tommy Howell, Lucy DeVito.
You had a crush on Tommy Howell, didn't you?
Oh, growing up, who didn't have a crush on him?
No,
You know, but what a class act to work with him. He really is gold. What a great guy. He treated this film. He's doing such great projects, and he just finished the movie LBJ. He's been all over TV, and he treated our film. And he's like really, he went to a film festival with us in Atlanta to support. So it's really he understands like the. Indie films. It's not an easy world. So his support and for the film, he's been just amazing.
Well, you know
I
what
can't
it
wait to
is?
work with him again.
But you know what? They have such respect for you. Not only your writing, but the camaraderie. I saw that, and that to me is very impressive. You always include Long Island?
I do. I love Long Island. It's usually maybe a character even, in my movies. In the future, maybe not. I don't know. But right now, I just love thriving, working, doing everything here. So,
And
we
you
work
too, right?
Yeah, we shot in Manhattan. We shot in New Jersey and Queens. So a little bit
All
everywhere.
over the place.
Yeah, and fair market value, a lot of people have been asking me about that. We're working on distribution for that one as well.
You are?
Yeah, we want to make sure it lands someplace wonderful because I can't wait to share that with the world. Like I said, Luisana Lopalato is one of my dear friends. I love her, and I can't wait for everybody to finally see this film. So the excitement is still there, so I'm just trying to find a good home for it.
I hope you heard that. Now, here you are at Racine's, and you've done work with Racine's.
I have. I volunteered to do their documentaries and interviews, and just really try to show the work that they do, because not everybody does like 100% of the proceeds. They really do. It's incredible. I've seen it firsthand. I've gone there on Mondays, and they really shut down the salon. And for anyone who has diagnosed of cancer, whatever the type is, breast, liver, whatever it is, and they offer free services. They have food, and they make you feel incredible.
They make you feel it's a warm and happy feeling. You can talk about anything. 88 cents of every dollar does go to all the people coming. 4 cents only to fundraising, and 8 cents to those involved, people that are administrative workers.
And we're lucky because we are the thrivers and the survivors, and we help other people get through it. But we've also lost a lot of loved ones, just like Mondays at Racine's. They lost their mom. So I think this is just a beautiful tribute. I lost my mom. So, we want to honor the past and make sure that we keep doing work and, educating and making sure that everybody has the resources
I know
they
they're
need.
telling me time's up because we're going upstairs. But one quick question. Couple of things that can help somebody who was recently diagnosed.
Get my book.
Absolutely. And
It
what
really
else?
is, because it's a really great tool, and it gives you all the oncology questions, everything you need to get through it. Just make sure you have a support system. Know you're not alone. And there's so many. Being in this country, you'll get through it. The doctors here, the chemo, everything has advanced so much. If you're here, it's a great place to be, and you have a support system. Reach out to your loved ones, family, and you can get through it.
See why I love her? This is Judy Sandstone, gorgeous lady, and look how she's dressed in pink. She knows. Maureen Tara Nelson. How you doing?
Great. I'm so excited about tonight.
You're sparkly all over. I see sparkles on your face, too.
Well, we have to celebrate all of this Mondays at Racine with the cancer care, and I'm a huge supporter of them. I think the world of them, so I just had to go all out with sparkles all over.
And you did, and you're a survivor, thriver.
Yes, 5 years.
You know what? I want to ask a couple of questions.
Sure.
I've done so many interviews tonight. What were some of the things that helped you get through it? Because there could be somebody out there who's wondering, what can I do? I've just been diagnosed. I'm scared to death. Now what?
Okay. Well, hopefully they follow my social media. So everything is under mtnmatchmaking.com.
I was just going to say, go ahead.
Everything. So on Instagram, which then goes to Facebook, I do a daily tip in October every day on how to win the fight against breast cancer. And I give motivational tips of what helped me 5 years ago. So, for example, one day is that you pick something that makes you feel good to do, and you make sure you do it every day. In my case, it was smiling. So it makes me feel good to smile. So every day, no matter how I felt, I made sure every time my kids were around and they saw me there was a smile on my face.
I love that, Maureen. I remember when I was in the hospital, I wanted something to look forward to, no matter what. And I wanted to give back to the doctors and nurses. I planned a barbecue. They couldn't all make it, so instead I baked cookies, brought it back to the hospital, and they were a team with me, and they loved it.
I have the greatest team. My plastic surgeon, he's the most wonderful man in the world, Dr. Peter Korn, because I became a breast cancer advocate when I first was diagnosed, and how I coped with it, I said, I don't like hearing that you'll never look good afterwards. That's unacceptable to me. So I went around and I found a doctor that said, yes, I can even look better after breast cancer. So I have no implants. I have no scars. I did the stomach flap surgery. And
you did do the flap surgery.
It's a 10-hour surgery. But for me, if you want to look better, find the best plastic surgeon that does it, which is Dr. Peter Korn in Great Neck.
Well, I want to say something here about that because there are so many different types. We now have the gummy. We now have the gummy implants.
Yes.
We have the silicone. We have the saline. But for flap surgery,
yes,
I'm a little too thin. They had grafting to do.
Yes.
You have to be a candidate for it.
They didn't have enough here, so
had
they
to
took
take
it all
elsewhere.
over, which who doesn't want that?
10 hours.
Yeah, 10 hours, but it was worth it.
Less
and
infection.
I needed 3 surgeries to make them perfect size Ds. And I'm so happy I did it because I do even look better than before.
Right. And they're measured in cc. We don't even do cup size anymore for those interested.
Yes.
The other question is, what can people do? What has someone done for you that helped when someone went through it? For example, for me, my sister got somebody to clean my house. Believe me, that had bothered me that it was not clean. Silly, but you never know what would bother you.
I just, I recommend to people not to be afraid to ask for help because I know even myself, people would say, what could I do? Nothing. And it was just automatic. And then after, as my advice, because becoming an advocate, I said to people, don't make the mistake that I made. Accept the help because these people want to help you. They want to help you, so accept it. And I wish I would have.
And how's your business doing? Let's talk about it.
Excellent.
Tell me about
in heaven. I'm truly blessed by God. Newsday did this fantastic article right before Valentine's Day, which led me to start doing TV commercials during all sports channels. So that's bringing in all great quality men and ladies that like sports.
And you're also in a magazine that I was just featured in. I love it.
Oh, yes.
Power
Magazine.
We love Power Magazine.
Love it. I was so honored, and I was so happy to see you were too.
Well, I want to thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
It's so good to see you. I'm going to see you upstairs. I'll stop by. So do you. And thank you. It's Maureen Tara Nelson.
Thanks. Bye.
I'm here with Julie Killian. And I got the name right, Julie?
Yes, you do.
Yes. And you are running for?
I'm running for Lieutenant Governor of this great state along with Mark Molinaro. We're the Republican, Conservative, and Reform Party candidates.
I think this is terrific that you are here tonight, but I want to know why you're here.
Well, I'm here to support all women out there who have had breast cancer and who sadly may have it in the future, though we're doing better in that regard. But I'm here also to support my friend Dana Persico, who runs the Long Island Nails Beauty Training School, and she's amazing and a big supporter of mine, and I wanted to be here to support her. And, I love to do things that support women. Us sisters need to stick together.
Our sisters do stick together. I'm a 43-year breast cancer survivor, thriver, at a time when people didn't talk about it. Yeah. And the fact that we could have something like this at Crest Hall through Racine. And of course, Racine is for men and women and all types of cancer. But you're absolutely right. We need to educate and to talk about it. You know of people who have had cancer?
Oh, many. And we actually have an organization that's similar up in Westchester called Soul Riders that supports women that have cancer, all types of cancer. And, I'm a mom. I'm a mom of 5, and it's really hard being a mom. It's hard being a parent. So only imagine when you have a sickness to deal with for yourself and how much you need the support of other women and other people. So it's so amazing that this organization exists to help people because, as you said in the past, people didn't talk about it. And now they can be out there and know that there's support, and it really helps people get
And
through
it's
it.
changing day by day. People are upset. Why haven't they had a cure? And of course, we know that cancer is a number of diseases and that each one is so specific. But today they're going through individualized treatment, immunotherapy, things we didn't hear of.
And which is terrific, and breast cancer does. A lot of people are focused on the cause and raise a lot of money to really help with research, because research is the way. And I have children with some long-term conditions, Lyme's disease and narcolepsy, and I try to help also raise money for those causes. And it's really important to know that people support you and people are out there and they care, and there's money going to research these causes.
Julie, since you are part of that group, what are a couple of things people can do to help others who have been diagnosed with this pernicious disease?
Well, I think first and foremost, reach out to friends or someone you know that may be going on. So often people feel like, I shouldn't call them. And I think so often people like it. And even if they don't answer you, when you're going through something, a quick text, a quick phone call, a quick email, hey, thinking of you. And then I think also, don't say, I'm going to bring dinner over on Tuesday. And if they say yeah, you do it. But it's often saying, how can I help? Just decide what you're going to do. Come up with something and do it.
That's brilliant. I actually think so. The other thing,
feel guilty asking for help. So if you're just going to say, I'm bringing dinner over on Tuesday, and they just usually say, okay.
The other thing, too, that you had mentioned, and I always come up as I speak around the country with the cause about fighting and helping people against cancer, I think one of the things, too, is that so many phone calls are made when someone is diagnosed with cancer. You cannot keep repeating the same story because it starts to wear you down. But a beautiful telephone chain, not like playing telephone, but really facts. And also take care of the family that's going through it. We tend to forget that.
Yes, and even and the kids a lot are thought about, but the husband too. It's hard for them, and they don't know what to expect. So, and getting dads together and dads calling other dads that have been through it, I think is great. And I'm just so impressed with this whole organization and how they help people. And it's really such a great model. And I hope that it gets even bigger, and I hope that it expands to other places, because it really is a terrific model.
They're on the horizon for expansion. I want to thank you so much, and best wishes for the future. I'll see you upstairs.
Thank you.
I'm here with Suffolk County Legislator Tom Filmin. Welcome.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here again.
Thank you. I'm Gail King from Looking to Make a Difference.
It's great to see you again.
I would like to know what brought you here tonight and what we can expect.
Well, I know Rachel and Cynthia and Carla for many, many years. We used to do business together many years ago, and so I've seen this Mondays at Racine concept grow truly from its inception to where it is today. And what a spectacular job they've done with this organization. They're raising hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars and doing such great work with our cancer survivors and cancer victims. Mondays at Racine runs this beauty ball every year, and tonight I understand we have a packed house, sold out here at the Crest Hollow Country Club. Hundreds of people are here to support this organization and to stand up against breast cancer, so I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, it's not just breast cancer. It's all types of cancer for both men and women. So I think that's amazing. No one that I ever met hasn't been touched by someone who knows of someone who's had cancer. Has that been your experience as well?
It has. I have an aunt who is a survivor, and not one person who I've met has not been touched by breast cancer, or at least some form of cancer. Right.
I want to thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And we will see you later on the dance floor.
Thank you very much, Gail.
Thank you.
Take care.
I have the supervisor of the town of Oyster Bay with me. That is Joseph Saladino. Welcome.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here. This is a terrific event. I know people watching this will say, oh, I wish I was there. It's such a great cause, helping people with cancer here at the Long Island Beauty Ball. Everyone involved in this has been so incredibly helpful, whether they are in the business community, in the beauty products community. in the healthcare community. Everyone is coming together to show that we truly care. I'm happy to be part of it, and I'm so happy and privileged that it's being held right here in the town of Oyster
I'm going to talk about you now that we got all of that. So I would like to talk a little bit about you. You in the New York State Assembly. You are very involved in ethics reform. Tell a little bit about that.
Clearly, ethics reform was one of the most important issues that we were involved in. We created processes to ensure that the disclosures were very intensive, that we put in place a lot of different pieces of legislation to push back against corruption. So then 18 months ago, I came to the town of Oyster Bay to become the supervisor, held an election, won my election, voted in by the public, and I continue to make the issue of fighting corruption among the highest priorities. We've put in place an ethics board in the town of Oyster Bay. We're in the process of interviewing people for the position of attorney.
And you don't know any of them. This is all an impartial board.
Oh, the board is all impartial. There has to be a variety. We set up a whole bunch of a plethora of rules, so you couldn't have people of all one political party. People have incredible resumes. We have now mandated training, ethics training for all our employees. Everyone has to do these intensive disclosure forms. For me, it's nothing new because I've been doing that all along.
You've been going to Albany. What a nice break from traffic.
Yes, but I love being the supervisor. It enables me to come home to my hometown. I've lived in my entire life. My father was a councilman from 1970 to 1980. He's long passed away, but it enables me to come back to continue his good work, to fix all of the aspects. We've already paid off $135 million of the town's
and
debt.
saved $1.8 million for taxpayers.
We cut taxes.
Cut that.
Yes, we cut taxes by that.
I know.
Yes, you do. And we are turning around the financials of the town. Standard & Poor's, Wall Street looked over our books, fully transparent, and have already raised our bond rating back to investment grade. So we're bringing about a major cure for the problems of the past in the town of Oyster Bay, just like all of you are working hard for the cure for cancer.
I also hear him on the radio whenever there's a storm. There's Joseph. I think that's great. One more quick question. Yes. How's your drum playing?
I still get to play from time to time. It's a lot of fun. It's a nice way to relax I work 7 days a week. I love my job. I would work 8 days a week if there were 8 days in a week. But it does make a fun way to bring a little joy to people's lives and to enjoy a passion for music.
Thank you for your humanitarian concerns. Thank you for being here tonight. And I know that the Long Island Beauty Ball so appreciates your being here. Thank you. And good seeing you again. Last time was in Albany.
It's great to see you all, and it's really fun and important to be part of this program.
Thank you. Yeah, we were talking before about men also going over to Racine's and having some treatment. But first, Carmen, tell us a little bit about your story.
I was apprehensive at first to go to Mondays at Racine. Being a man, I didn't have breast cancer, I didn't have thyroid cancer, and I just felt I didn't belong at Mondays at Racine, or so I thought.
Mm-hmm. But you found out very quickly that that's not the case.
It was not the case at all. Unlike a barber, there was much compassion. It was very inviting, very warm, and I thoroughly needed the Mondays at Racine program during a very scary, difficult time of my life.
Absolutely. I want to ask you, what services did you avail yourself of? Because, the women go in, they have their facials, they have all kinds of treatment, they have their wigs applied. So what did they do to help you?
Well, basically, as the chemotherapy went through my veins, at times I felt like it was embalming fluid, and my bones were almost like rigor mortis was setting in at times. So the massages were very, very good on my ankles, on my back, and I never had a scalp massage. I've never been bald.
I think you have to have a scalp massage anyway.
It was wonderful. I've never been bald. My mother said even at birth I came out with hair on my head, so I never saw myself bald, and it was very traumatic. But I eventually had no choice but to shave my head.
So what does tonight mean to you?
It's an opportunity to share my story that I didn't ask to be asked.
A part of.
It wasn't on my radar like most people, but the program needs to be praised. It needs to be spoken about. It's a very much needed, vital work in this area. And the three sisters are called. They are talented, they are gifted, and this is a ministry, if you will.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Carmen.
Thank you, Gail.
And I appreciate you coming to speak.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you.
I'm here with Dr. Mendelson, CEO of Zanger Passeri. I am really impressed because I have to tell you, those are the only labs that I will go to.
Oh, thank you very much. We appreciate that.
And I'll tell you why. First of all, because we know how good that they are, how accurate, but it's also that they care. I have to tell you something, Dr. Mendelson. No matter how brilliant somebody is, unless they have the right attitude toward people, it doesn't work, and they're trained well.
Thank you. It's interesting that you say that because we stress our corporate mission statement is two simple words: be kind. We start with our new employees at new employee orientation and teaching the new employee, remember two keywords: be kind to each other. If you're kind to each other, you'll enjoy coming to work. You'll be happy at work. And then that will exude onto the patients, and you'll be kind to the patients. You'll be kind to referring doctors. And we don't want to give a complicated mission statement. People know we have the newest equipment, do a high-quality radiology, great specialized radiologists. But being kind is the most important thing. Everyone comes into us scared and worried. At least we can do is be kind.
You're absolutely right. Recently, I had some stomach issues, turned out to be fine, and I was anxious about going through the CAT scan. Not too many people like that. Couldn't have made it more comfortable for me, talked me through it, and just wonderful. So that's something I want you to go back to say thank you to them, because I'm hearing that from other people. I'm in a position to talk to a lot of people having had breast cancer, going back for my yearly mammograms, and that's something that people always ask me. How do they treat you? How are they? So that is key.
Well, I appreciate that very much. I mean, to us, our patients are our customers. Every patient who we treat kindly, we don't want our patients just to have an okay experience. We don't want them to have a good experience. We want them to have an overwhelmingly positive experience, and then they'll go around telling their friends, their family members, their neighbors, their relatives, and that will bring more patients to us through a simple word of mouth by being kind to everybody.
So as CEO, do you go into the different lab? What do you do?
Well, as CEO, in the olden days when we only had about 8 or 9 offices, I used to every week make rounds through every office. Right now we have 28 offices, and unfortunately I'm not able to go into every office. So we have middle-level management who sees every office, and they report to me, and intermittently I'm able to go into each office. But I'm very involved with the design, the layout of the offices, exactly what equipment we're putting in. So I'm extremely involved with the organization. I'm extremely involved with the marketing department, with human resources department, the technologists, to keep us moving ahead technologically. One of my responsibilities is to make sure technologically we're ahead of the major universities and major medical centers. I never want to be playing catch up to them. I want our equipment to be better so no one can question us. Oh, you're going to private practice facility, it's second rate. No, everyone knows we're ahead of everybody else quality-wise.
Well, I want to thank you, Dr. Mendelson. This was a pleasure, and I'm so glad that I could come back and say something really positive.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Congratulations to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Always, at every function, anything to help other people is the beautiful Ling Alors. How are you?
I'm fine, Gail. How are you?
Oh, my God. It's so good to see you.
Thank you for that. But the thing is, I always see you there, too.
Well, but this is terrific. Now, you have something coming up, so let's talk a little bit about that. Get it out there.
Okay, I do have my Inside Connection networking event coming up. The Inside Connection is a networking event for people that are in creative, performing arts, fashion, anything that's creative. And that's going to be on November 12th at 6 o'clock at Jewel Restaurant.
Located in?
Located in Melville, or Yes, that's Melville, right?
That is Melville. It's a great place.
Oh, it's a wonderful place, and they're always so great to us there.
And I've gone to it, but what can people expect?
There's a great group of people that are really creative, and so it brings like-minded people together. The reason that we started this event, which has been now over 6 years running, was to bring creative people here on Long Island together instead of having everything run into the city. There is so much happening here on Long Island. Of course, the city is the city, but we have so much going on here too, and it's just a great way for people to meet that have that in common and exchange their ideas and just network with each other to find out what's going on.
And how exciting is this tonight?
I'm thrilled to be here. This is their 4th year, and I've been to every one.
Did you go upstairs yet?
I haven't been upstairs yet.
And for a treat.
Oh, I'm looking forward to going up. I think Mondays at Racine's is such a great cause, and it's right in my town. So that's even more of a reason for me to support it.
Oh, absolutely. When you go upstairs, you're not going to know which room to go into. Lynn, it was great seeing you. I want to thank you.
Thank you, Gail. Always a pleasure seeing you.
You're the best smile ever. One of the biggest distributors and also great supporters of this wonderful organization is Paramount Beauty. Now, I know from Paramount Beauty, you have Jeffrey Hagler and Evan Feingold.
Yes.
And you are Jeremy. Tell me about yourself and how you were involved.
Sure. I'm the Director of Sales at Paramount Beauty Distributors. We currently service 5 different states, and we have about 75 salespeople. We've been in business for over 55 years, and we service salons with professional hair care products.
I know that it's been a family business for over 50 years, as you said, but I do have a question for you. I know you're in 23 different salons or more. When they say that there are 50 or 40 educators, what is meant by that, and how does that help?
Educators? Well, it's really important to have educators because we need to be able to educate the stylists and salons so that they're able to educate their guests on how to use the product, when to use the product, and,
So you actually go into the different salons?
We do, absolutely. Yeah, we'll send educators into different salons depending on which brand they're representing, and they'll do like a color class, or they'll do a product knowledge class, or a hair cutting class, or even a blowout class.
And I know that your motto is service with style. Explain that.
Service with style? Well, we believe that it's really important to look beautiful on the outside as well as feeling beautiful on the inside. It's just a part of our philosophy.
And that takes us to Mondays at Racine. So how are you involved in that?
Racine Salon actually is one of our Davenant's accounts, and we developed a really close relationship with Rachel and Carla, and it's just something that we feel very passionate about. We really stand for what they believe in servicing the community and giving back to people that are fighting cancer.
And are you going to expand?
Possibly.
Rumor has it. I did my homework.
It could absolutely happen. There could be something in the works for sure.
Oh, that's wonderful. Jeremy, thank you so much for being a great representative. And I can't wait to see you upstairs. There's going to be music, dancing. There are going to be all kinds of displays. What are you going to be doing upstairs?
Well, we have our booth set up, and then also I'm going to be one of the judges for the costume contest, so I'm very excited
Oh, I
about that.
love that.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thank you so much for your time.
I'm with Anthony Cherubino, who reminded me of the little cherub, who's from Health and Wellness.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Where are you located, and what should we know about you?
So we're located in Bay Shore, and it's Healthcare Wellness Center. We've been there 10 years now, and we're super duper excited to be here because we've become a part of the Racine family. So we're going to start doing Monday nights, which is wonderful, once a month, and we do acupuncture, herbal medicine, massage therapy. So we're there to support. Post-chemo, mostly people with post-chemo nausea, the emotional difficulties, and maybe even possibly, as far as an herbal supplementation or nutritional supplementation to what's going on with their pharmaceuticals.
So you're joining in with the traditional as well as the non-traditional to help our cancer patients get the best of all.
That is perfectly put, and I seem to be the spokesperson for the acupuncturists and the alternative people out there, or functional medicine people now we're called, but we're in the mainstream, and the beautiful thing is that we do take insurance, so that's always a wonderful thing. And again, this is a substitute for taking pharmaceuticals also for people who might want to go that route.
Right, absolutely. I want to thank you so much. What haven't I asked you that you'd like to get out there?
We are here to support folks who are trying to maybe get some support without taking medication, and it's a calming environment, so if they are going through any kind of emotional difficulty, they can find a safe haven.
Okay, thank you so much, and I will see you upstairs. Do you have a booth up there?
Of course we do, yes.
And I'm coming to visit and see what goodies you give me.
Thank you, dear.
Thank you.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Have a nice meeting you. You as well. Thank you.
What is hearing?
Hearing is hereditary genetic testing for
Throw my tickets
Beautiful again.
Wow, one of a kind.
Somebody wants your attention.
The other half, Life on Mars, by Cynthia Sandstone and Racine. Rosie the Riveter, Beauty is Shame. Rosie takes away from women's
Yeah, turn around.
Do you agree?
Look at this food!
I took a picture of one of the girls from Richard. I was trying to use her talking clothes. So I'm like, oh, that would be, yeah.